Shangok smiled lightly as he fixed his tie in the mirror. His daughter Yeso was sitting on the bed watching him with big curious eyes. Papa, where are we going? He laughed and messed up her hair a bit. It's a surprise, kiddo, but I can tell you it's your ma's birthday today. Yeso's eyes got really wide. Ooh, Appa, can I get help with the surprise? He gave her a sneaky smile. Actually, I need you to help me keep it a secret. Think you can do that? She nodded eagerly, making her ponytail bounce. I won't spill, Appa, I promise. He put on his jacket and was brushing his hair, preparing for the special day out. That's when Yeso asked, making him stop mid-stroke. Papa, why don't I look like Amma? She's super pretty. She has got those cute kitty eyes and pink lips. Everything about her is just beautiful. Why don't I have kitty eyes or pink lips like Amma? His heart ached as he tried to find the right words. He stammered, barely able to speak. Not everyone looks the same, Yeso. You have your own kind of beauty. Your Amma wasn't always smiling, but when she did flash that smile, it was like the sun just dropped into safer. Seriously, her smile could chase away the clouds on the gloomiest days. She didn't chat a lot, but when she did, her voice was straight up heavenly. Appa, you really love Amma, didn't you? Yeah, of course. But man, I waited too long to let her in. Your alarm went off cutting through the darkness. You groggily open your eyes and you can already feel the weight of another day ahead of you. Get up, Ryan. You muttered to yourself, but it sounded more like a weak suggestion than a command. With a heavy sigh, you kicked off the blankets and swung your legs over the edge of the bed, your feet just dangling there for a moment. The medicines on your nightstand seemed to glare at you, reminding of the battles you have been fighting. You couldn't help but think back to how you got to this point. It all started a year ago when your parents got divorced. The constant fighting, broken promises, and eventually splitting up left you feeling lost and alone. You had a tough time dealing with everything at home and school. Your grades dropped, friendships faded, and your self esteem took a hit. The pressure to do well mixed with your parents' expectations felt like it was crushing you. One day you broke down in tears in the school bathroom, totally overwhelmed by everything. That was when your depression really kicked in. That's when the darkness really set in. Those nagging thoughts crept in, whispering that you weren't enough and that you were just a burden. You pulled away from your friends, stopped enjoying your hobbies, and lost interest in life, except for one thing. Shango. He's your classmate and best friend, and honestly, he's the only reason you still bother with school. Even when your mind feels like a stormy mess, he's that little ray of sunshine. You have had a crush on him since before the darkness set in. As your best buddy, he had his knack for bringing a smile to your face, but even with all that friendship warmth, a little voice in your head kept nagging. Does he really get how deep my feelings run? You found it tough to spill your emotions, your depression twisted everything, whispering, he's just being nice, not really into you. Is he just seeing this as a friendship? What if he's not on the same page? Would laying it all out mess up what we have got? But his sweet gestures and genuine care only made your feelings grow stronger. Maybe I should just keep it all to myself. You thought feeling lost on how to turn this friendship into something more. You adjusted your glasses trying to make sense of what the teacher was scribbling on the board, but your brain was a total mess, thoughts colliding like bumper cars. No matter how hard you tried, focus was nowhere to be found. Then those pesky dark thoughts started creeping in, whispering that you were worthless and would never catch up. Just as you were about to give in to the overwhelming feelings, a familiar scent hit you, citrus and mint, a smell that you associated with one person alone, Shango. You turned to your side and your heart skipped a beat when you saw Jungkook chilling in the seat next to you. But wait, that was weird. He always hung out in the back row. Can't see. You nodded, keeping your head hung low to hide your flushed cheeks. When he was around, everything felt different. You felt like you could breathe again, like the world wasn't quite so overwhelming. You just look at my notes and write. Don't look at the board. You nodded again. You plopped down at the table and Shanga couldn't help but poke fun at you for not digging in. Seriously, if you keep this up, you're gonna disappear. He laughed, sliding a plate of food your way. I'm good. Appreciate the concern though. You said, grabbing a fork and diving in. I can't help it. I'm always worried about you. Hearing that made your heart do a little happy dance. It's these little moments that remind you just how lucky you are to have Jungkook around. Can I ask you something? Mm-hmm. He encouraged you to go on. No one here really gets me. No one seems to care. Why are you any different? What do you mean, Ryan? You were the only one who didn't treat me like I was an alien when I came here. You were my only friend. His words hit you like a hurricane. You were just a friend, nothing more. And now I should look out for you while you're struggling, right? It's my responsibility, a true responsibility of a friend. A lump formed in your throat and your eyes started to develop. Though his intentions were meant to be reassuring, they only served to deepen the gap between your feelings for him and his for you. You looked away desperately, trying to hide what was going through inside you. But it was too late. The shadows had already begun to close in, threatening to engulf you entirely. You felt like you were drowning in the sea of sorrow, unable to catch your breath. Changok's words, though meant to be kind, as cut deep. You couldn't bear the thought of being just a friend to him, of never being able to express your true feelings. You pushed your chair back, trying to create some distance between yourself and Changok, but it was no use. The pain and sadness were suffocating you, making it hard to breathe. I need to go. You started trying to stand up. He reached out and grabbed your arm. Wait, where are you going? Finish your food. But you shook him, half yearning for freedom. You started walking out of the cafeteria with tears running down your cheeks. You kept walking up, but stopped midway as your vision began to blur, and you started feeling dizzy all of a sudden. Your legs betrayed you and you crumpled to the ground. Suddenly, you felt Jungkook's arms wrapped around you, pulling you into a comforting embrace. Hey, it's all right, I'm here for you. Yet even his soothing words struggled to break through the suffocating shadows that enveloped you. You felt as if you were sinking beneath the weight of your own emotions, trapped in a tide of pain and sorrow that had been building within you for far too long. Thanks a ton, Shango, for looking after my daughter and bringing her back home. Shango smiled back at her. No problem, Auntie. Your mom nodded, but then her face turned serious. Honestly, I have been super busy lately. I'm just glad you're there for her, like a brother would be. Her words made you feel sad and frustrated again. Why did she have to say that? Why remind you that Jungle was just a friend, like a brother? You felt a lump in your throat as you looked away, trying to hold it together. I'll whip up some food for you too, she said, heading off to the kitchen. As soon as she was out of earshot, you turned to him. I have something to talk to you. What's up? You hesitated, feeling a bit lost on how to spill your feelings. You fidgeted with your hands, searching for the right way to say it. I kinda feel like maybe we could be more than just friends, you know. His face crunched up in confusion. What are you talking about? I don't get it. Taking a deep breath, your heart pumped like crazy. You know you had to lay it all out there. I love you, Jungkook. I have been in love with you for so long. You felt very nervous. Your heart was beating fast and your hands were shaking. It felt like you were being a very open and honest, risking everything. His face changed and he squinted a bit, trying to figure out what you were saying. Looking at him felt like staring into a dark hole, not knowing what would happen next. You could barely whisper, but it felt like you were shouting inside. I love you, Jungkook. You said again, and it felt like it was tearing you apart. It was like you were laying your heart bare, and you were scared of getting rejected or hurt, but you just had to say it, no matter how scared you were. It felt like you were standing on the edge of a cliff looking down into the darkness. One wrong move and you might fall into a deep pit of sadness. Please say something. I'm sorry. I like you, but I don't love you like that. We're friends and I value our friendship. And I truly care for you, but I'm sorry. I don't see you in a romantic way. You felt really broken, like your heart had just been yanked out. The pain was so heavy, it felt like it was crushing you. You couldn't breathe or think straight. All you could do was feel the hurt and hopelessness that seemed ready to swallow you up. Tears were streaming down your face, hot and salty. It felt like you were drowning in them, like they were going to choke you. Your body was shaking with sobs, and it was hard to catch your breath. Why did it have to hurt so much? Why did it have to feel like the end of the world? You felt like you were losing yourself, like you were disappearing into the darkness. I don't see you in a romantic way. It felt like a knife twisting in your heart with every beat. You wiped your tears with your shirt sleeve soaking it up. A small crook smile appeared as you glanced at Chama. I just wanted to tell you, now it's over. No more burden for my heart. You stopped trying to act calm even though you were feeling a mess inside. It's all good. At least I got my answer. He looked worried but also relieved. He seemed unsure of what to say, caught between wanting to comfort you and giving you space. You stood up but your legs felt shaky. I'm gonna go lie down or something. I'm really tired. Yeah, take rest. I'll just hang out outside for a bit. You nodded and he walked out of the door. He shut the door behind you and looked down the hallway until he spotted someone standing there. It was your mom smiling softly, but her eyes told a different story. They were full of gratitude. Thanks for keeping your promise. I know the situation might arise one day. That's why I already talked to you about this. He nodded and walked up a little bit away from the door so you won't hear their conversation. She really loves you, and I know she'll open up to you. And I know you love her too. But this is about both your futures. We are leaving for the US in a month, and we'll be living there for good. Our treatment will keep going there. We might not see each other after that, so it's better not to give her false hope. I know it's tough, but I'm asking you to do this for her and for yourself. He wiped away the tears that are already out of his eyes. But Auntie, I can see she's broken. I really hurt her with what I said. Will she ever forgive me? Your mom's face softened and she looked at him with understanding. She put a comforting hand on his arm. She will. It's better this way, right at the start. If you had led her on and given her false hope, it would have been way worse for her. Your mom squeezed his arm a bit tighter. Trust me, Joe, this is for the best. She needs to focus on getting better and you to think about your own future and dreams. He got into his car and placed the snacks he bought for you in the passenger seat. He was about to start the engine when his phone buzzed, breaking the silence. He hesitated for a moment before answering the call. Hello. There was a moment of silence before his eyes went wide in shock. What? I'll be there soon. His face went pale as he hung up and fired up the engine. With a loud screech, he took off. He ran towards the ICU, not being able to control his pounding heart. As he turned the corner, he saw a group of police officers standing outside the ICU gate, talking to your mom. She was a crying mess, her face red and puffy from tears. His eyes widened in alarm as he rushed towards them. As he got close, he heard one of the officers saying, I get how you feel, ma'am, but we gotta figure out if it was a or if someone actually pushed her off the cliff. We can't just sit around and wait. He immediately pushed open the door and entered the ICU without the cops noticing. As he went inside, the door closed behind him, blocking out the sounds of the police talking to your mom. His eyes slowly adjusted to the light, and he saw the doctor and nurse standing next to you, looking serious. You shouldn't be here. Chao looked at him with pleading eyes. Please, just give me a few minutes. I want to talk to her. The nurse stepped forward with her hands on her hips. That's not allowed. Who are you, Anne? But the doctor raised his hand to stop her. Let him go. The nurse and the other staff exchanged worried look, but he didn't argue. Instead, they moved back, letting Jao come closer to your bed. He reached his side and knelt down to your level and took your hand in his, but it was almost lifeless. Why did you? I'm so sorry. His voice cracked as he spoke and he burst into tears. He looked at your face and saw tears falling down your cheeks. You were suppressing your pain, but it was evident in your eyes. You opened your shivering lips to speak and he leaned in closer to hear you because it was almost like a whisper. There's nothing left in me. You were all I had, but I can't have you forever. So living doesn't make sense. It's okay. I don't want to, because without you, my life is dark. You're my only light. He cried harder as he listened. He felt a lump in his throat and found it hard to talk. I don't know if I should open up because you'll end up hating someone for that. But the truth is, I love you. Please don't leave me. You gave a weak smile which broke his heart. You know what I wanted the most in this life? It's having a family with you, having a cute little daughter. You bite back your pain and his eyes welled up with tears as he saw the effort you were making to speak. He cupped her cheeks in his hands. I'm sorry. I was forced to say no that day. Look quiet. I want to live the most beautiful life with you. A cute little daughter, just like you, with his shining eyes. I'll give you anything you want. Don't leave me. What do you mean you were forced to say no? He pulled back and wiped away his tears, determined to stay the truth. I was. He stopped and looked at you. Your eyes were open, your lips were parted, but you weren't breathing. He looked at the doctor, who sadly shook his head. I'm sorry, she's gone. He knelt beside your bed, holding your hand tightly. No, please don't leave me. I need you. Tears fell onto the sheets. He shouted. I should have tried harder. I should have done more. He wished he could go back in time. He wanted to tell you how much you meant to him and change the past, but now all he had were memories and the pain of losing you. He stood before your grave with a bouquet of flowers in his hand. Happy birthday, love. Appa, why are we celebrating Mama's birthday here? He forced a smile. Because baby, Amma is watching over us from here. She nodded and he cut a small cake they had bought. He placed a piece on your grave and took a bite himself. Yeshu followed suit and they ate in silence. Baby, go sit in the car. I'll take you to the park later. Let me talk to Emma for a bit. She nodded and skipped off towards the car. Jungkook turned back to your grave and his eyes welled up with tears. I'm taking good care of our daughter, can't you see? She doesn't know I'm not her real dad or that she had a mom who she sees me as her dad, and I think you see her as her daughter too. I had no other choice but to adopt her when she was very young. I didn't want her to know anything. I wanted her to live as her daughter. The only thing I miss is you. If we had a family, if we had a daughter. I'm trying to carry on as if we were still here, but without you, the emptiness is overwhelming and no one can fill that void. He took a moment inhaling deeply as he fixed his gaze on your resting place. Everyone around me looks at me as if I have lost my mind. They can't grasp why I'm celebrating a birthday in a cemetery for someone who's no longer here.